Hello there. My name is Felix Kayode. You're welcome to Unit 2. Unit 2 relates to ADDIE model. In the last unit, I told you about the various types of models of instruction that we had, such as the Assure model, the Banati model, the Dick and Carey model, and I did tell you that we'll be discussing the ADDIE model in this unit. The ADDIE model has 5 steps, unlike the linear model of the 1940s, which was called the Instructional Systems Design. The ADDIE model is a cyclical model, which includes 5 steps: analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. And I'll take each in turn. Analyze. In the analysis phase, you analyze the components required in the design. You need to identify the goal. Ask, what do I want to achieve with this or in this course? You identify the need. What are the learning needs of the learners? This takes you to carry out a needs analysis. Then you analyze the audience. Who are the learners that wants to study this course? What are their features? What are their characteristics? For instance, what are their gender, their educational background, their employment status, their social status, political preferences, abilities, and their readiness for learning? These are the various issues that needs to be considered at the analysis phase. In the design phase, you need to use the input from the analysis to feed into the outline of the instructional goals. We now know who our learners are, so we'll be able to determine what the instructional goals are. The center point of this is the lesson plan, and some persons refer to as the table of specification. The lesson plan or lesson note or table of specification or course design shows the elements that will be embedded in the course. This includes the learning outcomes, the learning objectives, the mode of delivery, the pedagogical approach, the resources that will be used for learning, the mode of assessment, as well as the estimated time of study. In the third phase, we have the development. This is the development phase, which builds on both the analysis and the design phase that we have just discussed. This is where the content of the course is actually developed, and the lesson plan is now put together into a component for implementation. This can take different formats, which includes print texts. It can also be in form of videos like we have here. It can be in form of self-assessment exercises or even exercise collaborative work. You may not need to start developing content from scratch because there are open educational resources that we have been learning about in this course. You may use this from existing face-to-face course or identify OER to develop the content. At the implementation phase, this is where the delivery of instruction takes place. This could be classroom-based or in an online environment as we have here. The focus is on effectiveness and efficiency of delivery to ensure that the students are able to accomplish optimally from the learning experience. Before using the course material or content, test it by using either the beta test by fellow professionals or the pilot test by a sample of learners. When you are using the beta test, you present the developed content to your professional colleagues to critique. But when you are using the pilot test, you present the content to a sample of the learners that fit the criteria in the analysis phase to determine if the difficulty level is not too high or too low, to determine if the materials interest them or meet their needs. The content must be reviewed in line with the suggestions offered at the testing phase. In the evaluation phase, which is the last phase of the ADDIE model, you need to measure the effectiveness and efficiency of the resources. Evaluation takes place at 3 levels. It takes place at the level of the learner, at the level of the learning itself, as well as at the level of the course evaluation. In learner evaluation, you may want to find out if learners completed the course successfully. What are the challenges they encountered during the course of their learning? What did they enjoy and what did they find less satisfactory? You can use a questionnaire to determine this. You can even do a focus group discussion or use the discussion forum. The learning evaluation measures the degree to which learning outcomes have been accomplished. To measure this, the performance of the learner on the various assessment rubrics will need to be analyzed. The quiz, assignments, examination, forum discussion, and practical exercises. You need to ensure that the learners perform the act of contributing a feedback to the process on the skills they've accomplished, the evaluation of the course material, as well as the feedback. The last level of evaluation is the course evaluation. In this level, you need to evaluate the course against the stated course objectives. One of the reasons we say that the ADDIE is a cyclical process is because the evaluation feeds into the analysis. You have determined at the early stage what you expect the learners to take away. At this level of the evaluation, you go through the feedback to determine if the actual objectives that have been identified for the learners have now been met. And this can be determined by asking the course developers, the course writers, facilitators, as well as the learners themselves to contribute some form of feedback to the process. Thank you very much. My name is Felix Kaodiolaplein, and I will see you at the discussion forum to continue discussions further on this unit.